Here we are. Welcome to anyone who's here. Or if you're watching this after the stream has ended, well, welcome and thank you for watching. Today, I am going to be streaming. We're doing ranking. I just realized there's a typo in the title card of the PowerPoint. So yeah, it says 2016. I just now noticed that. Whatever. Doesn't matter. No one's going to care. Then again, maybe they will. We're ranking my 2017 videos. This is the very first year that I made brick films. So obviously this is all relative. So none of these videos were really good. In hindsight 2020 and all that. I will not be ranking the reviews because fuck the reviews. And also just because there's really no basis to rank them off of. They're just them talking about the movies. It's nothing really to rank them based on. Nothing really to base the ranking off of. So yeah, not the reviews. Yeah, let's just get right into it. Let's not beat around the bush. Number 22. Which one could it be? Also won't be too much of a surprise. It's Robin Runs an Errand. If you've been following me long enough, you'll know that this is the video that I very much refer to as my very worst video. Second video I ever made. It's bad. It's really bad. Animation is like something where it's like my animation's like always been very simplistic. So like there's not like my animation definitely got better throughout the year. But not like I wouldn't say a significant amount. But what makes the animation so bad with this is like a lot of just the things moving that aren't supposed to move. And specifically when Robin first walks up to Batman, there's the little flinch. And yeah, that's terrible. But like aside from that, like it some of the dialogue is just really bad. Mainly all the dialogue between Robin and the pharmacist lady. It's just terrible. It's like this is a funny idea, which obviously, as is shown in the sequel that came out this year, it was not something I should have done for my second video, and it was bad. But I'm gonna grow. So let's go on to the next one. Number 21. Lego reviews, Jar Jar arrives early. So I said I wouldn't do the reviews. This is not a review. This is an actual video. Because back then, in my 2017 mind, I had to, I wanted to build anticipation for Harry Potter replacing Jar Jar. And it's so stupid. So incredibly fucking stupid. It's just like, Jar Jar being like, I'm here for the review. And Batman's like, you're in here early, blah, 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 blah. And it's just like if there's one video that I feel like I never should have made, it's this one. Yeah, it's just no point to it. I don't really have anything good to say about it. The only reason it beats out Robin Runs an Errand is that, the animation isn't awful. So, I mean, it's still bad, but, not as bad as Robin Runs an Errand. So, let's just go to the next one. Lego Star Wars Hansa Quest. In all honesty, I used to have this a step below Jar Jar arrives early, but from rewatching it, there's actually some jokes that I actually kind of like still. Like, there's obviously the ones like, I can't wait to fuck your daughter. Like, I always like that one. But, like, yeah, there's like one other funny moment that I kind of like. But, like, it's such a dumb premise for a video. Like, I wonder what would happen if Vader didn't die in Return of the Jedi and Han had to ask his permission to marry Leia. Yeah, I don't think anyone's ever asked that. But I made a video about it. Yeah, I don't like this one. Star Wars content for me was not good in the early going. I just didn't know what the fuck to do with Star Wars, which is like a shame because like I love Star Wars. Star Wars is my favorite movie series, and so it just really sucks that this is the only Star Wars video I put out this year. But there was another example of Star Wars content that I would put out later that would be a lot better, but we'll get to that when we get to that. Number 19. The one that started it all. Lego Batman Villains Friday Night. Now, obviously, my very first video. So the animation's awful. Like, even from rewatching it recently, I realized how bad the animation actually is. Very much looks like my very first video. Like, you could see immediate improvements, not in Robin Runs an Errand, but like, the video Batman versus Penguin and so on. But like, for a first video, I like it still. It's still very bad, but it's still fun. It's not trying to be anything too serious. Like, I feel like sometimes with my Brooklyn's nowadays, I'm just too serious with it, and this one just feels very innocent, I guess, which is funny because there's like so many F-bombs. Like, I remember the first time when I was writing my first script, like, oh, let's put an F-bomb here, because F-bomb equal funny. So, yeah, it's still a few jokes I like. Oh, the Joker voice. Hate the Joker voice. Like, Jesus Christ, I don't know what I was thinking. But like, I think like the whole premise of it is like, oh, let's talk about the movies we've been in. It's just so stupid. Like, I did it much better in the sequel to it 3 years later. But yeah, it really highlights the problem of the medium videos I did in my first year. Is like, they're not acting like they're characters. They're acting like just people dressed up as their characters, if you get what I mean. So let's go to the next one. Number 18. Lego Batman versus TwoFace. This is the second video of my Batman versus series. And like, it improves on some things from the first one, like, including Robin, cool. And Robin, I like a few of the jokes with Robin, like he face plants at the very beginning, when he first shows up. And it also feels a little bit different because of the fact it's not, oh, let's kill Batman. It's, oh, we robbed a bank already. Like, oh, they already did their evil thing, and now Batman is showing up to stop them. I don't know why he did show the bank. Maybe he was jerking off or something. I don't know. But like, this video really is only like a minute because there's a little bit of dialogue at the beginning, then Batman takes each of them out with a punch, and that's it. And only then Two-Face makes the like, oh, she hired a Rachel for me. It's like, wait, is this supposed to take place in like the Dark Knight universe? Like, what the fuck? And then there's the stupid Deadpool cameo. Like, once again, like, this is back in time where I feel like I had to like explain everything, or like if I messed up, like, oh, let's have Deadpool acknowledge it, ha ha ha, funny. But yeah, it's stupid. But like, there's still a few things I like about it, which is obviously why it's not at the very bottom. This is the first time I did like a full fight scene, like from start to finish. I like some of the Ramen stuff in it, but that's about it. On to the next one. Number 17. Does Lego Batman like jazz? This is another one of those videos. Just like, why did I make this? Like, what was the point? I don't get it. I really can't. I can't even think of any reason why I made it. But like, it's not like, it's short enough to where it doesn't do anything terrible, and so yeah, that's why it's a little bit higher. But yeah, it's highest I was willing to put it. And I've already talked about this video longer than the actual runtime, so I'm just gonna go on the next one. Number 16. Nope. Lego Batman versus Penguin, the very first of my Batman versus series. I will say this is definitely a big step up animation wise from Robin Runs an Errand, and I don't know. There's a lot of things I like about like the whole plot of Penguin, like, oh, we're turning into penguins. I think it's just so goofy and dumb that I kind of like it. Including Bane was cool. The whole fight, like the whole actual fight scene, was terrible though. It's like there's a part where he's like banging his head on the ground, which I totally stole that from what Forrest used to do, and the sound effect is off. That's always annoyed me. At one point, I did like fix it in iMovie, and I almost thought about re-uploading it, but I decided, who cares? I don't think what else I was gonna say about this. Honestly, I'm trying to think. Oh yeah, I was gonna mention that like when I first made this, I didn't really know much about Penguin. The most I knew about him was from the Lego Batman video game. Like, this is before I watched the animated series, so and I guess from watching Forest Fire as well, because that's why I get the that kind of voice from. So yeah, I don't really have too much to say about this. Like, it's definitely an improvement, definitely a step up from the last the videos that came before it. And yeah, I think it was a decent start to my Batman vs. series. Number 15. Lego Justice League meeting. You know, the meeting videos, obviously, big part of my channel. Like, this one's got 54,000 views. But looking back, they're not good videos. Not at all. They are trash. Which, like, this one does a few things right. Like, at least it doesn't start with the characters already on the table. And, like, there's a good joke here and there. But it's just so bland. Like, it's just them, like, just random talking. Like, once again, like, they're talking about the movies they've been in. Like, oh, Marvel, they're making all these great movies. What are we going to do? Like, who the hell cares? Like, it would have been so much better if they're just their characters and they're talking about some villain they have to take down. Or just something completely stupid. At least it would make it funny. But, yeah, whatever. Yeah, I don't really got much really to say about it, which is, it's almost a 7-minute video. Yeah, like, I will say, like, the voice acting isn't terrible. Like, Superman's a fun character for sure. I think that's probably one of the highlights of the video. And this is this is where the Aquaman character was introduced as well. And so, like, there were some good things that were established in this. My Flash voice was stupid. But yeah, I don't really. Oh yeah, my Wonder Woman voice. I completely forgot about that. Yeah, I don't really have much to say about this one. It's pretty shit, and but at least, you know, I tried more than some of the other videos, so that's why it's a little bit higher. So on number 14, Lego The Adventures of Aquaman 2 Attack of Black Manta. The second episode, obviously, of my Adventures of Aquaman series. Definitely a step down from the first one. I think the first one was a very good way to establish the series. And this, it does a few things right. Like, including Black Manta to, like, introduce Black Manta as, like, the main rival to Aquaman. Good idea. The whole, evil plot to, cause an oil spill and kill sea life. Like, okay, cool. That makes sense. Throwing in real world problems and shit. But it's just executed so terribly. And, like, I don't know. I just feel like it's just so short. Like, only a minute and a half. Which I feel like it should have been at least around the same length as the first one. Animation's pretty which is kind of sad because, like, animation was starting to get better. So yeah, I do think this is a step down for sure. And I just not including some of the same characters before, like, obviously the Laughing Sharks are back. And then there's the random joke at the end with Superman and Batman. It's like, okay, whatever. Yeah, don't really have much more to say about this one. Number 13 is Lego Avengers meeting. One of the most viewed videos on Gregory Animations. The second most, I think. I think it's still the second. Pretty sure it is. Yeah, this is a video that I really hated for the longest time. Like, I mean, maybe I was just mad because of all the videos I made. This is the one that was getting all the views. And I was like, well, what about this video or that video? And looking back, though, like, there are actually some pretty good jokes. Like, I still, like, find some of them pretty funny. But the main thing that I really don't like about this is a lot of the voice acting, particularly from me as Captain America. He's just talking like this all the time. And, like, also there's the whole thing with roll call. Being like, who the fuck cares? I mean, the only reason I did the roll call was to set up the Quicksilver, which was the Evan Peters Quicksilver rather than the Aaron Taylor Johnson Quicksilver. I hope I got that name right. Which, like, is a fun joke. But yeah, aside from that, it's pretty shit. It's like, I think, like you know, with, like, Thor, playing Thor, like, I did a lot with Superman's character, making him kind of a cocky asshole, whereas Thor, like, every character in this is pretty just generic. Just, there's nothing really special about them. Like, even Hawkeye, who's the loser character, still just has a regular voice. And so, yeah, it's just, very bland in that regard. Like, even more bland than Justice League, but at least has some better jokes, which is why I put it higher than Justice League meeting. Number 12, Lego Batman versus the Riddler. This is the 4th Batman versus video, I believe. And the main reason why I put it lower than a few of the others was because a lot of the animation. So this is one of the laziest videos animation wise because during the whole conversation between Riddler and Batman, it's just the same animation. It's literally just copy and paste it. Which like I copy and paste animation from time to time, but not. I don't usually do the same movements just over and over. And yeah, that really I don't like that. The fight scene's fine, except like the part where like he shoots him and he just like slowly leans down, just like what the fuck. But like all like the conversation, like at least the conversation like with him telling him the riddles and all that, like that's fun, you know. I don't have a problem with that. Some of the line deliveries were kind of weird in this one. Like, there's the part where he's like, Robin says, I think we should kill all our villains. Like, I don't know. I couldn't get that line right. I think I just eventually just gave up on it. Yeah. The flashback scene is fine. Like, I just like the joke that Thomas Wayne tells him to go, you know, kill the guy. It's just complete opposite of what Thomas Wayne does in like every Batman universe. So, yeah, I like that. Number 11. Lego Batman versus Scarecrow. Yeah, this is one where, like, I've always had a bias towards it. There's a joke or two in this one that I've always liked. Particularly the part where he sprays Batman and Robin, and Batman's like, bats, because he's afraid of bats, like in the Dark Knight series. He sprays Robin, Robin says, Robin. So, like, I don't know. That's just one joke I've always liked. And, you know, then Batman hitting it with the shovel. Like, that's fun. Deadpool cameo. It's kind of funny. But, yeah. It just feels so thrown in. Like it feels like it's so forced in. It's like Deadpool cameras are fine if it's a natural part of the video, but if it feels tagged on, it's just like what the fuck was that for? Also like, you know, I barely mentioned anything about set design so far, but like it's kind of a given that all my set design this year sucked. But at least with some of the other Batman videos, like Penguin at least had the laser. TwoFace had the safe. Riddler had the whole thing that Robin was trapped in. This one literally has nothing. They're just in a room with nothing. It's I just don't get how like set design was so uninspiring. Like I couldn't think like, let's put a couch in there or something. You think I would have been like looked at Forest Fire's videos at least and be like, I could put this in here and put this in there. Maybe if I had done at least a little more set design, people wouldn't be so annoyed with the gray walls. But yeah, I totally get why. So anyway, on to the next one. Number 10. Lego Thor finds Odin. This is one of the most random videos I ever did. Kind of context behind this. This year, Thor Ragnarok was coming out, and also Transformers 5 was coming out. And the actor's name is slipping my mind. I feel bad because he's Anthony Hopkins. Anthony Hopkins was obviously plays Odin, and he was playing some old guy in Transformers 5. So I just wanted to kind of make a crossover video with that. So yeah, premise-wise, I like it. But it's, I don't know. It's hard to really, it's not really a lot to say about it. But I just think it's fun enough. And there's not really any terrible jokes. So like, yeah, I like it. It's still bad, but I like it than a lot of the other stuff on this video from this year. Number 9 is Lego Batman versus Mr. Freeze. So this is the first time that I kind of had an extended story in a Batman video, because they start out in the Batcave, and Batman's just like, I'm going to take the night off, and immediately gets a call telling him to go take out Mr. Freeze. It feels kind of tagged on. I guess the only reason it exists is to explain why Robin's there, because Batman's just like, yeah, you haven't helped me at all. You kind of suck, so yeah, no, I'm doing it by myself. Also, it's really hard to tell, but in the thumbnail, Batman's supposed to be flipping him off. Can't really tell, and that's why he's like leaning back like he's offended. The fight scene is definitely improved from the previous Batman videos, but still kind of shit. At least I did a little bit more to set with the wall design, because you got the light blue bricks in there and the dark blue in there, because blue and cold they go together. So that's what Mr. Freeze's lair looks like. Yeah. Anyway, on to the next one. Number 8, Lego Batman versus the Joker. I think this is, like, in some ways, this is a big step up from my other Batman videos because there's a little more of a story. You know, they start in the Batcave. They first have to go encounter Harley Quinn before going to the Joker. So, yeah, there's more steps to the story rather than just Batman faces villain, Batman wins, the end. What brings this video down, though, is the fact that, like, you get halfway through the video and Batman defeats the Joker, and then the rest of the video is just a bunch of exposition to set up for Batman versus the villains. And it really kills the momentum of the video. The fight scene's fine, except for the part where he jumps at the Joker, which, first of all, that jump just looks weird. And I was trying to do a thing where, like, it showed a shadow before and after, and it just does not look good at all. I've definitely, like, when he dodges, when he does the flip, like, that looks a lot better than, like, compared to when I did it in the Riddler video. So, yeah, it's definitely improvements. But, yeah, the video just dies at the end. At least it's, like, I do find the Batman villains entertaining, like, with all my friends that voice them. I think I'll do a good job with that. So, like, that keeps it from really sucking in the last half, but it's still just, ugh. Number 7 is Lego Batman Nightwing. Now, this is not technically a versus video, but still in the same canon as the versus video. This is definitely a big step up for my Batman series. There's a lot of interesting things in this video. First off, it introduces the Russian crooks, who are my favorite characters on the channel. It establishes that Jason Todd was a Robin, and he died. And it also establishes that there are multiple Alfreds that have existed in this universe. There's a lot of lore that is established in this video, and none of it has been expanded upon since it came out. But I do plan to expand upon it. So yeah, I find that funny. This is definitely a huge step up from our fight scenes. And in some ways, like the fight scenes definitely look a lot better, and it's a bigger fight scene because there's more characters involved. I remember, most of my fight scenes were between 15 and 20 seconds at this point, but this one was 45 seconds. I'm really surprised it didn't get copyright striked because Batman versus the Villain, well, not copyright striked, copyright claimed. Because Batman versus the Villains would be, and that one was about a minute. So, character-wise, I wouldn't say anything too special. Batman and Robin are the same characters they've always been. Nightwing just feels like Batman, but not. Poison Ivy was fine. Killer Croc is a fun one because I just like the voice that Bump does for him. Because there's not really a lot of character to them. That's the thing. All the villains are very one-dimensional in my universe. But yeah, I find it entertaining to an extent. It was funny that Tyler got introduced in this video. His character, his figure was introduced first. So, on to the next one. Number 6, what could it be? Lego Christmas Party. I'm not even sure how I came up with the idea for this. It was just, I just thought, hey, what can I do for a Christmas video? Let's just have all the characters show up and have a Christmas party. Why not? This is also what introduced mine and David A's figures along with Tyler's. Yeah, this is just a fun video. I just like all the different characters interacting. Still some pretty bad dialogue. The whole conversation with Indiana and Han is pretty dumb, kind of cringe, honestly. But the whole stuff with the Skywalkers, I love it. Yeah, obviously I basically took that section of the video, made a whole video on it several years later. So that means it established the Drunk Luke character, so that's fun. Like I said, I mentioned earlier, there was one bit of decent Star Wars content this year. That was definitely it. This is one of the first times I actually showed a little bit of background animation because during one shot it shows Batman and Iron Man talking, then it moves over to Han and Indiana, and you can still see them. So I showed Iron Man walking away. However, I was still animating at 30 FPS at the time, and so I didn't like some of the animation, so I cut some of the frames. So that's why you see Iron Man start slowly walking, then he starts to walk faster. Because basically the way I did my walk animation back then, I would triple the frames to show a slow walk. So basically that's at 10 FPS. So I was trying to every 3 frames I'd do a movement for Iron Man, but I'd still be doing the regular movements for Indiana and Han. So, yeah, it looked like shit. Also, the entire video, like, anytime you see Professor X, his second head that the figure came with was shown on the back of his chair. Stupid. Captain America voice still sucks. Yeah, this is a fun video. I love the ending too. Like, showing the characters like all singing Jingle Bells, Batman Smells. At the time was easily the hardest shot of animation I ever had to do. I remember that was just so ass. Ugh. Not have good memories of that. That was the first time where I animated a scene and it was like, wow, I kind of hate animating. So, yeah. I think it was because of that scene that I kind of try to avoid doing a lot of different characters moving around. Because it's just, ugh. Number 5. Which one's number 5? Well, let's find out. Lego Jar Jar's Revenge. I almost feel like I shouldn't put this at the number 5 spot because this video sucks. Like, at the beginning, there's the whole thing between Indiana and Iron Man with making the whole Family Guy joke. Instead of him saying whip, he's saying whip. So stupid. And so much animation sucks in this. But it's such a bonkers video. And so, like having Jar Jar show up and he's being evil, he's kidnapping them all, doing like a whole, and then they were none kind of thing. Like, still makes it fun to an extent, I guess. I hate to keep using that word, fun. But, like, I don't think any other way. It's very amusing, I guess you could say. But it's so much stuff that's bad. But it was the first time I ever did, like, a overarching storyline, so in that regard I like it. So, and it's easily the best thing to ever come out of the reviews have been ass ever since they began, but at least we got this out of it. So, number 4, the beginning of the Adventures of Aquaman series. Now obviously I do have some problems with this. Once again, this is one that's high on the list just because of nostalgia, because of personal favorites, because I love the Aquaman series. But I do feel like this was a good way to start the series. Like, it very well establishes Aquaman's very comic booky, loserish character. And it establishes that SpongeBob and Patrick are in the universe, and also Squidward. Establishes the Laughing Sharks, which is one of the main problem I have with this video. When I did the animation of the sharks, I had, like, the brick I was popping up with was on the front, so I had to take that out. And because I had to do that with every frame I was moving their mouths with. And it looks like absolute shit. And luckily, I learned my lesson pretty quickly and never did that again. So, it was also funny. This is the only time, because there's the part in the second half of the video where the shark comes around and faces. That's the only time in this entire Aquaman series I ever did that. And the reason I haven't done it again is because it looked like shit. Which now that I have a green screen, I definitely could do that more. Which I kind of did that in the finale with the fish. But at this point, it's too late because the series is over. Sorry, spoil that for you. But yeah, a fun. There's that word again. A solid intro to the Aquaman series. So yeah. Now we're going to number 3. These are the only videos that I can say I actually like. Like, as in, like, I would give a positive opinion of. Like, there's still definitely problems with them, but, like, I have some semblance of pride towards them. So, number 3 is Lego Batman Halloween Special. Now, this came out after Batman vs. the Villains, and all the videos up through Batman vs. the Villains have been done prior to going off to college, which was in August. Batman vs. the Villains came out in October. So I definitely had taken a break from animation, and I looked up some tutorials, and I feel like it really shows in this video. I feel like this is a big step up for me animation-wise. This is where I introduced the running animation. And this is definitely a video that really started pushing me more towards 15 FPS rather than 30 FPS, which is, I never should have done that. No, it was stupid. The dynamic between Joker, Scarecrow, and TwoFace is fun. Robin obviously takes more center stage here. Batman kind of more of a minor role. I don't know how to feel about the opening joke. It's like, oh, where's my super suit? Which is kind of dumb. He doesn't really have a super suit. Oh, no, he does say bat suit. I'm dumb. I'm sorry. I love the joke with Alfred being, that every Halloween he just scares the kids away rather than giving them candy. Yeah, so I like the part where he just hangs up on Riddler. It's fun. The main part of the video I really don't like is the part when Joker's talking to Robin and it just shows the back of Joker the entire time. That was really stupid. Like, I guess I was just too lazy to like make a backside to the layer, or maybe make sides to the layer, so at least show it on the sides. I don't know. There's a lot of different things I could have done, but the thing I shouldn't have done is just showing the back of his head the entire time while he's making these big long monologues or whatever. I like the ending, because Deadpool scares him away, but he's wearing the same mask that Alfred was wearing. I really like the animation when he takes the mask off. Like, that just looks really good. Like, even like by today's standards, like that looks pretty solid. So yeah, definitely a big step up from animation wise. Still got some problems, but pretty happy with it. Number 2. Oh, we're almost done. Thank God. It's been very tiring. I'm going to take a nap after this. So what's number 2 for 2017? Lego Justice League's new member. This might be my funniest video to come out this year. I just, look back at this, and there's so many jokes I still really like. There's a part. This is the first time I ever used had the red clay. So the first time I ever used blood in videos, and so the Darkseid crushes Aquaman at the beginning. Love it. They just kind of brush off Wonder Woman not being there, which was just me to cover up not having a female voice actor. I just like all the different characters that are used, implying that SpongeBob is even more powerful than Aquaman, making fun of Hawkman. I'm thinking of it. I think I'm forgetting something. Okay, I really like Superman just calling Indiana Jones a muggle. I feel like it could have been delivered better, but I still just love that joke. I'm trying to think. There's one more. Oh yeah, and the ending though is kind of bland. It was just showing Martian Manhunter showing up. Because this video, I think when I made this, it was intended to be canon, but now it's not. So including Martian Manhunter on the team was meant to be a real thing. As a way to introduce him to have him become part of the Justice League. But it would have been funnier if it was just some stupid character, and then Aquaman tries to rejoin. He's like, oh no, we got this guy. It's like, well, wait, he's a loser, whatever. I don't know. So yeah, aside from the ending though, this is a great video. I really like it. However, there's only one video that can be the best of 2017, and this one's kind of by default. It's Batman versus the Villains. Still got a lot of animation problems. As I mentioned, it came out after this video. There's a big step up in animation for the Halloween special, but once again, I feel like I only like this just because of being biased. Because this is the big video to come out this year. This was what all the Batman versus videos were building up to. I can't really say for sure when I decided I was going to do this, but it was fairly early on. So including all the villains is fun, and kind of harkening back to the first video with the villains meeting. And then Deadpool showing up. Almost kind of makes this feel like the season finale of 2017 in a way. So yeah, I just really love for that regard. The whole scene with the villains around the table, love it. And Alfred just kind of like, oh yeah, sure, you can come on in. He's just like, I'm not even gonna try to stop you. It's fun. The fight scene, definitely got a lot of problems with it. Some of the animation, just the part where, specifically when Alfred hits Scarecrow in the head with the shovel, very much lacks, oomph to it. A lot of the other, parts of it just look really shit. There's a few good parts, but I always feel like the Batman Nightwing video fight scene was better, because I think I was just trying to do so much, but not trying to put too much effort in. Because like as I mentioned, I was trying to make all these videos before college, so I feel like I was kind of rushing through this one a bit. Because I remember I made this in a week, which at the time was the longest time I ever spent on a video. I've had water here this whole time. I haven't even taken a drink yet. That's better. So yeah, I don't know. Maybe this shouldn't be number one, but the way I feel right now, I feel like it's an easy number one. Some good jokes that I still like, and I think it was a solid ending to my first series of Batman videos. I guess is the way to put it. So yeah, that'll be it for the ranking. Do you guys agree? Do you not? What do you think were my best videos from this year? Have you even watched any of my videos of 2017? If you haven't, I don't blame you. So, now thank you all for anyone doing the live stream. If you hadn't, you're watching this later. Thank you for watching and listening to all my ramblings and repeating some of the same descriptive words over and over again. But, hope you guys enjoyed, and I will see you guys in the next video.